The Diocese of Portsmouth in England, through the ad hoc committee in Bamenda Archdiocese and the Bamenda Portsmouth link, has reached out to some health beneficiaries. These internally displaced, vulnerable, and pregnant teenagers are taking refuge in the city of Bamenda as a consequence of the ongoing socio-political crisis in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. In a bid to ensure the future of these ladies, the Diocese of Portsmouth made a financial donation which the Health Service, one of the services that constitutes the ad hoc committee in Bamenda Archdiocese, assisted them for a quality antenatal care during their pregnancy and the delivery of their babies. Sister Luisa Abbott is the Bamenda Archdiocesan Health Coordinator.
These are beneficiaries of the program that is being run by the ad hoc committee, a project that is sponsored by the Diocese of Portsmouth. The health part of the program is being managed by the Health Coordination Office. So behind me you have women who have benefited from the program. When the crisis in Cameroon started, we realized that the vulnerable group needed more attention. And so, due to the fact that what we had as support was not so elaborate, we decided to pay more attention to the pregnant women and children, especially children 0 to 10 years. As the crisis continued, we started receiving a lot of adolescent girls who were pregnant. Some of them were raped and they became pregnant, and so we were offering them health access and psychological support. So we actually helped them because most of them had nothing. So at the level of the health needs, we provided them with antenatal clinic support. We sent them to the hospitals and we paid for their antenatal clinics. They delivered and we paid for their health bills. We also assisted them to do echographies while they were pregnant. We are glad that all of them, they delivered. Some of them, even though some of them, due to the stress, the trauma that they've been going through, they delivered through cesarean sections. The cesarean sections were all successful, and we are happy to have them with their babies. Some of them are here who are still pregnant, who are still in our program, going through their antenatal clinics, and we are praying that they will also deliver safely.
The Health Coordination Service of the Bamenda Archdiocese and these beneficiaries are grateful to the people of God in Portsmouth Diocese for their faith in action. The financial support has enhanced their health.
Diocese of Portsmouth, we thank you. We have nothing to give you, just to say thank you. Oh, people of Portsmouth, we thank you.
Madame Laura Agnola is the Bamenda Archdiocesan Coordinator of Justice and Peace and member of the ad hoc committee.
I sit in as one of the members of the ad hoc committee to respond to the needs of IDPs and refugees, and equally to manage what comes in to assist these IDPs and refugees. In my role in the ad hoc committee has to do with identifying the IDPs and then also keeping a record of them. We have a database of the IDPs and also reporting on the response strategy. I would like to let you know that in the crisis, when it got so bad, the church, the Catholic Church especially, was the first respondent to the victims. They came right to the bishop's house, 20 of them, after having trekked for a distance of about 75 kilometers in the bushes. And the Archbishop Emeritus now responded immediately, asking 3 services of the Archdiocese, the Health Commission, Social Welfare Commission, and the Justice and Peace Commission, to reflect together on how to respond, how to have a strategic response to the growing number of displaced persons. So it was at the nick of that he decided to create an ad hoc committee
One of the beneficiaries testifies she got pregnant as a result of unwilling sexual intercourse.
I'm from Bloom after Bicom. I came here on October 2019. I was raped by the military. While they came in our village, they stabbed my uncle, and then my mother collapsed, and my uncle was struggling to tell me to run. I was not having any. As I wanted to run, they had to push me down, and then jamming my mouth with a gun, and then I was like going up, and then by getting up I saw myself that I was raped. By then one auntie helped me from my village to this Bamenda, and she came and alarmed me and said the brother does not want many children in the house, and then I have to stay me in the park, and I was having nowhere to go to. I have to be walking like a madman on the street. And when I reached beside a church, one auntie helped me from there. I was living with the auntie. From living with the auntie now, one sister from this St. Blaise helped my aunt, connected my auntie here, and I came here. I met Sister Louisa. She has really been a help to me.
When I met her, she was very depressed, very traumatized, and she had some accommodation, but it happened that where she was staying, the lady had to travel and she was there alone. So I brought her to come and be spending time in our hospital canteen where she could have food, where she could have company. By the time I met her, I must say the trauma had taken her up to a state that I could see her having a partial stroke. But when she started interacting with the people and we did a lot of psycho counseling, I realized that she is gradually becoming, she's gradually fitting into society, and we look forward to her having 2 babies from the ecography. She's having a multiple pregnancy.
Fomosan Kelly is a young girl of special need. Through the Justice and Peace Office, she was being accommodated at My 4 Quarter in Nkwen.
She was involved in an accident with the parents who died both, and so she has a disability. She works with crutches, and she had the first assistance from Father Bonaventure Don, who gave her some money to learn a trade so that she can help herself eventually. There are some of those cases that we identify in the course of responding.
Before Adewode condition, since 2018, we began accident for Tiko Douala Roto. I lost my parents, then everybody, now only me and my elder brother be remain. Then finally now, my uncle they fight on top my property. He take a lock and for prison. Through that, he sick again, die. So since 2018, and then job is stranded. Before he can come for Bamenda, I come up Bamenda, go village. Then through the crisis, when no be there again, before I come out again, I can't off for Bamenda, can't be with a friend. So means no be there. Then either have me and a friend be stay. So the challenges they be really too much. Now either way, I decide now to go see Justice and Peace for plead with them if they get any means for help me. For my rent of house, they will help me with 40,000. I add them, then pay my rent. Then for my need them, they will support me with mentors, blankets, stuff, pot, plate them at least. Important thing they want to use them for kitchen. So I really appreciate them, and I really thank God for sending me for them. So I just praise me, God give me good health and long life, because I really want to use my hand there, because I get handwork for my country clothes, so that at least I feel get work, so that I feel do at least for the plan for my future and take care for myself.
The generosity of the faithful of Portsmouth Diocese awakened these beneficiaries, and coupled with a financial donation by the Conference of Religious of the Ecclesiastical Province of Bamenda, each of these IDPs has engaged in an income-generating activity.
There are so many of them. We have attended to over 500 women. I was supported in this venture by the Conference of Religious of the Ecclesiastical Province of Bamenda, and so I was able to give those women little loans to carry out businesses that they had identified. I am very happy that the little amount of money that was given to them has helped them to sustain their families and sustain themselves.
Thanks to the financial assistance, these recipients collectively formed a group called Struggling Sisters.
Struggling sisters, are we together? We are one. Oh, we are together. We are one. We are one. Oh, we are together. We are one. Our Reverend sister, are we together? We are one. Oh, we are together. We are one.
They meet twice a month. Saving of money is their specific activity. Wiba Relindis is the pioneer president of the group.
Actually, this group started when we came together to sister and asked for help because we were IDPs. We came from different villages. Me, I'm from Banso, and others are from other villages in Bamenda. So when we came together, sister assisted us with a loan to start our businesses. So when we started, we thought it wise to come together twice a month to chip in something like savings so that we'll be able to generate income for the group. We call this group Struggling Sisters because we are just struggling as IDPs. We are still struggling in this town. So when we come together, we start some savings, and any person is advised to borrow something to add to the business for it to grow. So far, we've been doing great in the group, and we are able to help each other for the group to grow. And we pray that with the help that the Diocese of Portsmouth has rendered to us, we'll be able to grow from grass to grace. That by next year we'll not be called Struggling Sisters, but we'll be called Able Sisters, and we'll be able to help other.
My name is Solange Lung. I come up from Bafut. I stay with small man called Abi Baba. I will leave Bafut during this crisis. Come to town here. Around there sometime. I hear about this program where I be pregnant. So I come for big man come here. They be help me because for this length of time, while I can't clean it, I come they free of the pay my bills. Even when I born, they support me with baby things. They give me even 20,000 francs for start something doing. For the 20,000 francs, so I buy a baby chair. It's a second-hand baby chair. For start with them. So I want to thank the people too much because now I be able, I feel fit my family, I feel support my husband, I feel play my jangi.
My name is Faustine Goy. I be IDP, I be run from Belo. Come enter this town. I live my life on Tamulu. After some time, I go Tanka. It was a Tanka. I come back for Tamulu. We rent one room. We be there inside. We 11. We be the manager. Then I be get information so they register IDP for you. I come here, I meet our sister Louisa. So he be take me like his own sister. He advise me, send me for clinics. I go there, they be attend to me very well and they welcome me very well. Later on, he call me, he give me 20,000 like capital. I take him, I start with sugarcane, granite sweet, banana. As I struggle, I play Jangi. I enter Jangi, I play him. Now I be able for do one or two things, feed my picking them. Chop to a miss I like them, and the way I take and come enter hospital meet up and no still day again December I be there. So then now my color don't come back for the way it be there. So it should say when you pass person you must meet up person. You know the past person you meet up stick. At time the people they plenty and I will continue to help people there.
My name is Eunice Ate. I'm from Balinyonga. I'm an IDP. I left Bali as this struggle started when our house were burned. So we ran to Bamenda. I was living with my aunt in Bamenda here. After some struggles with her, I left the house and went and rent a room. So I think of doing something and I was not having anything. I went to a store. One of my village neighbor was owning it. I was taking things from him, selling and repaying him after I've sold. So sometimes I would not even have the money. He would abuse me, do every sort of thing, but I was still beg because I was not having any money. I came here gladly I was admitted. I was admitted, and they took me to the antenatal section, and I was fully taken care of, and the care was so marvelous. And afterward, I was to be operated. That one brought me down to the floor level again. After some time, they told me that I will not pay the bills. I was so happy, and my mood really changed. Finally I got operated, and I had this baby in my hand. I want to say thank you to you people, because I don't know how I can express my joy. Something really happened in my life that you have put something in my mind that I will never forget. Just the mere looking at this child, I know it is a mark that I will always remember you people, and I will always think of helping people, and I have plans to help some other people out there.
I really thank God because I don't live here for almost a month, and I thank God for the neighbor where I get them, because they don't welcome me. They take me as their sister, as their picking, as their all thing. I just thank God because any place where I go, at least I meet up now God-fearing people there.
Following the financial donation, which has put a smile on the faces of the beneficiaries, another health crisis which has come in with its challenges is the COVID-19 pandemic. What measures are being put in place to fight against this pandemic?
It is a very, very difficult situation. We are hemmed into two evils, the conflict and the pandemic. But nevertheless, we have taken some measures. We think to the best of our capacity and ability, we are responding, at least amongst our staff and people who come for services like the IDPs. We have assured hand washing stations. Every morning we disinfect the office and the common spaces in the building. We also have hand sanitizers. Not the least, I have my face mask on. I had to take it down because of the interview. But again, we know that there are cases that cannot afford. So I have a series of masks here that I offer to those cases.
Thank you, thank you. Diocese of Portsmouth, we thank you. Diocese of Portsmouth, we thank you.
She equally joined the beneficiaries to thank the donors for the financial support.
As I said, I want to thank the Portsmouth Diocese and the Archdiocese of Bamenda for growing in that link and friendship that extends to helping others. We may not be responding as soon as possible with our reports as soon as possible, but would want you to understand that we actually want to do an objective exercise in reaching out, especially the parishes. A parish like Elung has been under serious security issues because amidst the Anglophone crisis or Anglophone conflict, you also have underlying conflict issues that were never addressed. For example, the farmer-grazier conflicts. And then in those parishes where you have many more herders there, like Elung, Fonfuka, so they can't go. Bessa, the roads are not passable. I just hope and pray that with the Archbishop's pastoral letter, now is the time for peace, we can come up with something positive, because we are reflecting with parents who have their children that have adhered to armed groups. We also talk with parents as well who have who are part of national armed force. We also talk with young people who are vulnerable and could be targets for violent extremism. We also talk with other church groups and even people of goodwill to start reflecting, preparing our minds as to what, if at all, a ceasefire is called up today, what are the steps we are going to take to give hope for people that peace can reign tomorrow. So I take the Archbishop's pastoral letter as a wonderful tool of transformation. How we use it is the results we are going to get. Thank you very much. And thank you so much, Marinos, for always edifying our work and documenting for posterity. Thank you immensely.
We have nothing to give you, just to say thank you. Oh, people of Portsmouth, we thank you.
Thank you, Portsmouth.
As we continue to pray that God may give Cameroon leaders the wisdom and compassion to come to a peaceful solution for the socio-political crisis, we pray too that God may comfort all the displaced persons as they grieve for their native soil. May they find new hope and new opportunities, and may their resources be multiplied so that everyone has enough to stay warm, fed and safe.